Welcome to Whispers of a Machine. This is a sci-fi noir detective kind of story where you play as a cybernetically enhanced detective who is out to solve a string of murders and uncovers a rather, well, disturbing conspiracy. Anyway, let's start the game, and as you can see, decisions are permanent, so make your choices carefully. And every single choice you make in terms of conversation has an effect on your character's personality and its abilities as well.
So, what's with the gloomy look? Left someone dear behind?
Yeah. You could say that.
Been there. So, Nordson, eh? You better buckle up. We've got some nasty weather coming in.
I heard. Sadly, caring about storms is a luxury people in my line of work are rarely afforded.
Oh, and what kind of work is that?
Special Agent, Violent Crimes. Central Bureau.
Well, shit.
And if you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. Personally, I feel like this game is really underrated and has not had a huge amount of exposure that it, in my opinion, deserves. And it's a real shame because, in my opinion, it's pretty fantastic.
You there. This is a restricted crime scene.
Vera England, Central Bureau.
Oh, you're Agent England. Sorry for shouting at you. I'm Gabriel.
Apology accepted. Now, brief me, please.
Certainly, ma'am. The victim is Carl Oscarson, age 33, stabbed to death by an unknown assailant. He worked here as a carpenter and was found early this morning by a coworker who's sitting over there by the window.
Got it.
Alright, so I've already run through the first half an hour or so of the game because I just wanted to kind of figure out what's going on here. So as you can see, she has three distinct personality traits. You have empathetic, assertive, and analytical. And obviously deciding which one in which conversation will advance that one ahead. And it will also, as you can see, affect the story and the tools at your disposal.
Sorry about the state of the crime scene. We're not used to this sort of thing.
As you can see, we have a couple of choices here, so I get it, but I gotta tell you that this isn't up to par. Follow my lead, alright?
I get it, but I gotta tell you that this isn't up to par. Follow my lead, alright?
Will do, ma'am. Happy to assist in any way you need.
Good to hear. Now, give me a second while I examine the body.
Sure, I'll be here.
So that's also something. As you can see, this choice has amplified Vera's assertive side. There will be many instances like this, strengthening one personality trait at the expense of the other two.
So, is this where you use your X-ray vision?
My what?
Come on, you have to be aware of the rumors. How agents like you are supposed to be equipped with some kind of advanced cybernetics.
Let's just say I'm good at what I do. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, didn't mean to overstep my boundaries. Hush, hush. Got it.
Alright, so let us now start inspecting the crime scene. Personally, I love this game, and I'd like to actually play more of it. So if you are also someone that is into detective stories, into mysteries and unraveling conspiracies, then you probably want to check this out. Anyway, if you hold down space, you can actually see the variety of different things that you can interact with, so you don't need to just move your mouse all over the place and try to find exactly what you want to click on. You know exactly what you want to click on by just holding down space or tab, either one. Anyway, Vera has a number of different abilities. As you can see right here, these are known as augmentations. These three are locked at the end here, but these three we have available to us. So we have Forensic Scanner, which basically brings up a smart scan, and basically what this does is it will scan various forensics in the area, and it will detect anomalies for you to use in your questioning and indeed interrogations of subjects, like for example that fellow over there. So if we move our smart scan over his hands, you can see that we have just analyzed some blood.
Post-mortem, huh? That would suggest that he likely only touched the body after death.
Exactly, Vera. So as you can see, so obviously he has blood on his hands, so you would expect him to be like, oh, maybe, maybe he's the guy, maybe he's the murderer. No, obviously he's probably not, because as you can see, the pattern indicates a post-mortem smear, which means he touched the body after death. Now, this smart scan can unlock a variety of other scans that we will get to as we progress. So I'm going to move the smart scan over the body. So, as you can see, we have now unlocked Blade Shape and Carl's Bio, which basically means that we can detect his DNA, his fingerprints in varieties of different locations. So, for example, if I were to, let's say, select Carl's Bio right here, basically what I could do now is I could move it anywhere I wanted, and I could move it, look at this. I have found his fingerprints.
Okay, that must be Carl's locker.
We know exactly which locker he has, so I don't even need to ask this guy which locker needs to be opened, which is really fantastic. And you can also obviously put it over here, and you can see that it's actually Carl's blood. Obviously, we already know that. And obviously Blade Shape's not really going to do much right now because we don't know where the murder weapon is. Anyway, I'll just go back to Smart Scan and we'll just get rid of that. We also have a Biometric Analyzer. Now this is obviously fantastic because what it does is it can basically detect anomalies in someone's statement, and it can also detect what kind of emotional state they have. So it's basically like a built-in lie detector kind of thing. You'll see how it works in just a second.
Alright, we've got multiple knife-sized stab wounds to the chest. I don't see a murder weapon, so I take it none was found at the scene?
That's right. All knives and sharp tools in the building have been accounted for, too.
It looks like the victim was attacked directly from the front. I don't see any major defense wounds, so this was either a surprise attack, or the victim knew the perpetrator. What about any potential suspects, Constable? Did Carl have enemies?
None as far as we know. He seemed to be well liked among the guys here, but the man who found him might know more.
There was a photo in his chest pocket. Gabriel.
Yeah?
Right, so as you can see, whenever you get into a conversation with a particular character, your notebook will come up, and basically you have a variety of different notes that will be added to your notebook as you discover more evidence or points of interest. So for example, Carl's murder, obviously we've already spoken about Carl's murder with Gabriel here, so there's no real need to speak about that anymore. However, we could ask about him.
What can you tell me about yourself?
Not much to tell. I grew up here in Nordsund, and all my family is here. The commissary is my uncle. He's always been the one who encouraged me to become a policeman.
So, how long have you been a cop?
8 years now.
Wow, 8? Must have started young.
Yep, started as a trainee at age 16.
I see.
There we are. So we have a little bit of a background on Gabriel right there. So I think we can basically
That's all I
trust
need.
him.
Very well, Agent.
And, if we wanted to, we could basically access our Biometric Analyzer. So you can see here that what you can do is, if you want to, you can go close to someone, and then your Biometric Analyzer will then start analyzing their heartbeat and the various other things that may give them away in terms of, body language or just in general how they're feeling. And as you can see, Gabriel's pretty relaxed. And if I want to, what I can do is I can lock my Biometric Analyzer onto Gabriel. So even if I go closer to the worker over here, my Biometric Analyzer will not change target. So if I want to do something over in a different area of the screen, and I want to kind of test someone's resolve, so to speak, I can just lock this onto them, and then it will give me an idea as to if they are guilty or if they're hiding something or lying or whatever the case may be. So it's pretty awesome. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of the Biometric Analyzer for the moment, and we're going to probably open up Carl's locker. I think that might make the most sense. So I'm going to use Muscle Boost to do that.
Geez, try not to wreck the place.
No reason for alarm. I just needed to get this locker open. There was a piece of paper in one of the inner pockets. A pair of large boots with dirt under them.
All right, well, that's basically all that we can do in there. As you can see from tab, we can just see that there's coat and boots, but we should probably get our forensic scanner out and actually scan his boots, because she mentioned dirt under them. Right, so there we go. So basically what we now have is we have an opportunity to scan anywhere else with this, which is basically saffron, right? So he's been walking somewhere where there is saffron to be found. So if we were to find saffron somewhere here along the ground, then this scan would pick it up, which is really very useful. Anyway, let's actually now talk to the worker, and I'm going to get my biometric analyzer on him. And we're going to test to see what he's actually going to tell us and what he isn't.
Hello, I'm Agent England. I have some questions for you.
Hi. Okay, go ahead.
Why don't you tell me about what happened this morning?
Okay. I get up early from my morning smoke. I keep my smokes in my locker, so I came in here. I saw Carl lying in the corner. It was still kind of dark, so I thought he'd fallen and hurt himself. I ran over to him. That's when I noticed the blood, and I guess I was kind of in shock, so I tried to stop the bleeding, but then I felt how cold he was. I yelled for help. The guys came running, and then Josef, our foreman, sent someone to go get the police.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Carl alive?
Late last night, around midnight. He stayed up with us playing cards, which is unusual.
Unusual? How so?
Well, it was rare for Carl to stick around in the evenings. He usually went out by himself.
Oh. Do you know where he used to go?
No idea. He didn't talk much about that. Maybe he went to the canteen to meet some friends. Anyway, Carl seemed a bit anxious last night. He seemed distracted.
Got it. Thanks for the info. Do you know anything about saffron plants?
Nope. I know we grow them in Nordson, but that's it.
Alright, so far he doesn't seem to be telling us anything that we don't really, that we are suspicious that he's not telling us the truth, basically. But let's show him the bloody photo.
I should look at it myself first.
Ah, we're going to look at it ourselves first. Okay,
That's
so
enough
let's do
questions.
that.
It's a bloody photograph of Carl and a young woman, taken fairly recently by the look of it. He's holding hands with the woman, but I can't discern her face. Too much damage to the photo. She's wearing a brass necklace. Could be relevant. The note looks like it was written by a woman. It reads, "Hi, doofus. You're registered now. Go try it out. Remember how you totally flipped the day I first came to Nordsund? Kisses."
Alright, so now that we know what those are all about, what we're going to do is we're going to speak to the worker again, and we will show him both of these, and then we'll see what he has to say.
A few more questions, if I may. Have a look at this picture. Do you know who the woman is?
Yeah, that's just some old girlfriend of Carl's from ages ago.
Is that so? It doesn't look that old. At least Carl looks about the same.
Guess the guy aged well. Any other questions?
You should know that it would not serve your best interests to hide information from me. By refusing to cooperate, you'll force me to escalate the situation with a formal interrogation at the police station. None of that is necessary. I'm only interested in finding Carl's murderer.
I'm sorry. I gave him a promise. The lady in the photo, Carl is still seeing her. Well, was, I suppose.
Why wouldn't you tell me that from the beginning?
It was a secret. Carl said they would both get in trouble if anybody knew.
Why would they get into trouble? An affair?
I didn't ask, but yeah, could be.
All right. Tell me everything you know about this woman.
Carl said she lived somewhere north of town, but that's all I know.
Okay, I believe you. I could go and follow up on the Saffron lead now, but I should check out the dormitory first. Do you know who wrote this note to Carl?
Afraid not. I don't recognize the handwriting.
Right, so follow up on the Saffron lead. I suppose we will do that. There's not really any necessity to speak about Carl with this guy, because we already kind of know about what his relationship was with him, so we're going to get rid of our biometric scanner for the moment. And we have an old soda fountain here, which is kind of weird, right?
Looks pre-collapse, basically a glorified corner lamp. There's a coin slot on the side with a coin stuck in it. I can probably pull it out using some extra strength.
Ah, extra strength. Let's do it.
Got the coin.
All right, so we got it. So the only other area that we can really explore here is the dormitory. So we're actually going to go over there.
Hey, I'm gonna go check out the dorm. Where's Carl's bed?
Turn left and then go straight. I left the light on so it'd be easy for you to find.
Gotcha. Be right back.
All right, so we know where his little area is here. As you can see, this is it. And there's a ventilation tube. This is a kind of weird place for a ventilation tube, wouldn't you say? Anyway, let's search a couple of other things.
Dirty laundry. Smells like machine oil. Both beds look recently used. Pens and paper. Nothing out of the ordinary. Clean clothes and sheets. Nothing interesting.
Alright, so nothing interesting at all, apart from the ventilation duct. I mean, you don't see any other ventilation ducts in the other rooms, as you can see. So let's bring out our forensic scanner and actually see if we can find where... So this is Carl's, quite obviously. This is his bag, because you can see his fingerprints on it. And you can also see that this is his bunk. So, yeah. Now, if we move this onto the ventilation duct, what do you think we're going to find? Do you think we're going to find fingerprints on it? Yeah, we did.
Huh. There are a lot of prints around a panel on the air duct.
Yes, exactly. So maybe what we want to do is we want to interact.
The panel is screwed on tight. I'll need some way of getting it loose.
Ah, some way of getting it loose. So we don't actually have a screwdriver. I could technically go back and ask Gabriel where we could find a screwdriver, but I believe the foreman has locked away all of the tools due to the murder because obviously they want to be a bit careful. So, what's a good way of getting some screws out of a particular place? Well, you could technically use a coin, and we have one right here.
There was a small key hidden inside the duct. I think I'm almost done here. I should just talk to Gabriel before I go.
So, we are basically done in our investigating of this particular crime scene, but we're going to follow up on our leads and see exactly where this mystery woman is, who she is, and, well, maybe we'll find out a little bit more about a potential motive as well.
Hey, I think I'm done here.
Oh, okay. Mind sharing your findings?
It seems like the murder could be tied to a secret relationship Carl had with a woman, but I'm leaving all options open.
Sounds reasonable. Do you have a lead to follow up on?
Yes, I have reason to believe that Carl recently passed through an area with saffron plants somewhere in Nordsund. Maybe I can correlate that with Carl's movements to the north of town when seeing that woman.
Good. Meanwhile, we'll transport the body to the morgue and have an autopsy performed as soon as possible. Do you want us to keep the area sealed off?
No need. I'm done here and won't come back. You can let the men get back to work.
Very well. I'll let them know.
By the way, how do I get to the police station from here?
Just head straight east outside. You'll see it.
Got it. See you later.
Alright, so we are now outside and we now have the opportunity to speak to this guy and this policeman if we so desire. But for the moment, I am going to end this episode off here. If you would like to see more from Whispers of a Machine, then by all means let me know. But if you'd like to play it for yourself, which I'd highly recommend, I feel like it's so underrated. Anyway, if you'd like to do that, there is a link in the description, and that'll take you to the Steam store page. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.